Okay guys, so everyone has been asking me for a comp day makeup routine. I'm no makeup artist, I just know how to do my own face because I know how I like my makeup. Like I said, not a makeup artist, I'm probably doing things wrong, but I know that this works for me, and so I'm going to keep doing it. But basically, this headband on. Keep the hair out of my face. Now I always take a softbox light with me. I think I've shown you before. That's what that looks like. It folds down and fits perfectly into my suitcase. And so I just take it with me to every show so that I know that I'm going to have decent lighting regardless. So basically I've got my makeup kit here laid out in front of me, and I'm just going to go ahead and get started. Recently I started doing eyes first. I've never done eyes first, I've always done face first, and for the New Zealand show I did eyes first for the first time and loved it because I had no fallout from the eyeshadow and I was able to cover it with wipe any away and then cover it up with concealer. So I'm going to go ahead and get started and try to sort of do a how-to as I go along, but like I said, I'm not a makeup artist, but you guys are all asking for this video, so I figured that I better do it and deliver. Hey, so the first thing I'm going to do is wipe my excess tan off my face. I do get one spray of my base coat tan, so I get 2 base coats and a top coat, and I don't get my face sprayed the first one, I only get it sprayed the second one, and I ask for a light spray. All that's going to do is just give me a little bit of color underneath my foundation. I find that I would look white in the face and more prone to flashback from stage lighting if I don't do this. A lot of makeup artists I've found prefer it if you don't get your face sprayed, and then others want a light spray. I think it's just a personal preference thing. If you don't want to get the tan in the pores of your face, that's totally fine because it definitely does get everywhere. Like I ended up with a heap of blackheads, but look, it's only a short-term thing, and I just find that it's better. First thing I've been doing is putting this Ren Clean Skin Instant Firming Beauty Shot. I just put this underneath my primer. I find that, I don't know, it feels nice on my skin, and I feel like it hydrates me as well. So that's why I'm wearing that. It was actually a sample I got from my MECCA Beauty Loop membership for makeup. I just use my fingers and put it all over. After that, I then take my Tatcha Silk Canvas primer and I apply it with a flat top kabuki brush. So this, you really don't need a lot, so I just like dab it on and then apply it all over. Just looking at how bad my skin is around my chin area because of how much makeup I've been wearing the last month, and how much tan I've had on my face. Normally my skin is like super good. I don't actually have to do a whole lot to take care of it, but lately not good. Awesome. The next thing that I do is take this MAC Strobe Cream. I wear the color Pink Light. This is just the sample size, so it's just the one that I wear. I just put a tiny little bit on my fingers and then put it mostly on my cheekbone, a little bit on my forehead. Alright, perfect. So first things first, I'm going to get my brow pomade. I'll do that first. I wear $1 Billion Brows brow pomade, and it just comes in a little kit with its own brush. I just use the brush that it came with. Okay, so I've done my brows, and now what I'm going to be doing is getting my concealer brush and concealing my eyes, my lids, and around my brows, carving out my brows. I use the Morphe 705 brush, if that means anything to anyone. And I have been using the Tarte Shape Tape to do my eyes, so I'm going to go ahead and do that now. Go ahead and start doing my eyeshadow. I do not personally set my eyeshadow base just because I think that the colors stick to the lids a lot better when you don't. But again, that's just me, that's my personal preference. Could be the wrong thing to do, but it just works for me. So I've been using to do my stage makeup this new Too Faced Pretty Rich eyeshadow palette, and I've been loving it because it's got this, I wear a lot of blues on stage, and it's got this beautiful Set the Jewel Tone blue eyeshadow there, and I really find that it's just a nice little touch that it ties in with my bikini without being too bright. So I'm going to go ahead and do that. Eyeshadows I'm not good at, so this I'm probably not going to talk through, but basically I use a light color to put into the crease and use it as, I think you call it, a transition color. And I guess this is kind of setting the base in a way, but not fully. And then go in with a slightly darker color and just start building from the outside in. For me, I prefer to have darker colors on the outside of my eyes and lighter on the inside because I have my eyes sloped down, so I like to put color to lift them up on the outer corners, and also widen them by having lighter colors in the middle. Oh, I forgot to mention also that I am using this MECCA Maxima eyeshadow palette. It's called the Wink Weapon Mini Palette Minimalist. It's got 6 shades in it and they're all silvers and black. So I've been using a couple of shades from this just to help slowly build up to the black that's in the Too Faced palette. So that is my eyes mostly done. The last thing I do to brighten my eyes right up, make them pop, is to put this Stila liquid eyeshadow on. It's a silver glitter. It's called Diamond Dust. So yeah. Stila. It's got a little applicator like that, and I just use the applicator and put it straight on my lid, where, excuse me, in the center of my lid, and blend it out into the blue. Don't know whether you can see very well. That's them so far. Now just grab the brush that I used to put the darker shade on the outside, just gently blend if there's any bits of glitter that have gone astray. And then I get another brush, and there's a beautiful like pearl white in this Too Faced palette, and I usually just put that on my underneath my brow. That's it for my eyes. So I'm going to get started on doing my face. So I'm just going to set up all my face stuff. Totally forgot, I do use a silver eyeliner to put on the inner corner, but what I will do is I'll put that on after I do my foundation. It's just a cheap Essence brand. I get it from Target, but it's fantastic. It's a little wind up. So I'm all set up. At the moment I am using the MAC Studio Fix Fluid as my stage day makeup. I'm wearing the shade NC45 because I have warm undertones. If you have a cool undertone, I'd probably recommend using the NY40 because the NYs run slightly darker than the NCs. Don't know why, it's just how it is. So yeah, NC45 is what I use, and I use the Tarte Shape Tape as my concealer. And at the moment I'm using the NARS concealer stick as my contour in like the darkest shade possible. Dark 1, maybe it's not the darkest, Dark 1 Cafe. What I've been doing is I put my foundation into this, and as you can see it's already already put it in there. This is just a lid of a mason jar, and it works absolutely perfect to save me from putting my foundation on my hand. I put it straight in here and apply with a sponge of some form, beauty sponge. At the moment I'm using the Morphe one. It's got the flat edge, so I just think it's really good for being able to do under eyes as well. But my favorite ones are the Chi sponges, and they are awesome. And they're $5, so as if you wouldn't. That's personal preference. I'm gonna get to work doing this foundation now. With your foundation for on the stage, I recommend that you sort of match it to your second, to your second base coat, or slightly darker maybe. You want it to be very slightly, your face to be slightly darker than your body on stage. If you are the same color as your body, you will look muddy, like someone's face planted into a mud puddle and dragged you. That's what you'll look like. And I've seen it countless times before, and it looks absolutely terrible in photos, and it looks terrible on stage. You need to make sure that you are actually brightening your face up with concealer underneath the eyes, because you need that pop on stage. The stage lights are so harsh, they will just completely wash you out. So you need the makeup, but you need to make sure you're contoured enough, but also lightened enough so that you don't look like your face planted into a mud puddle. Also gotta make sure you blend down the neck, because, oh man. Although you'll have a little bit of a tan line because they will spray my top coat on over the top of this. Obviously not on my face, but you'll get a spray line sort of around here. You want to sort of minimize it as much as you can by blending. What I'm saying is you get a line, but don't make it worse by having a makeup line as well. Awesome. So onto the concealer. All I do is dab tiniest little bit underneath my eyes, both sides, like tiny, see, not much. And then the same on my forehead, and I blend that out, and then I build on it, because I may need more, but I'd rather have too little rather than too much, and then I build on it. No, I don't think I need any more concealer, which is cool. Then I will get my NARS. Like I said, it's in the dark one, and put it just here underneath my cheekbone, where I want to hollow out so that it makes my cheeks appear higher. And this one I very slowly blend down into the hollow of my cheek. This is the one that I often have to put more of. I like contour with my bronzer as well, but I find that unless you put the cream contour underneath, if you just put powder, it either goes muddy on your skin or it doesn't show up under stage lighting. So I like to make sure that I do the cream contour underneath as well, and then a little bit here. I have a wide face, so normally I do the outside here and leave the middle, and then the outside here. Just to sort of slim my face down a little bit. Cool, I'm happy with that. Now I used to put this down, get rid of the creases underneath my eyes. I used to bake my concealer. I don't anymore. I don't know what I was doing wrong, but there was definitely something I was doing wrong. But for some reason, I just kept getting these like harsh white, it was like the white powder just stuck to the concealer, and then I ended up with like these white blotches on my face. Could have been something I was doing, probably something I was doing wrong, but I couldn't figure it out, so I stopped. Oops, run shit everywhere. So I stopped doing that. Now I just get this big fluffy brush. It's a MECCA Cosmetica brush. Don't know what it's called. I think it's just a powder brush, all over powder brush or something it's called. And I'm using at the moment my translucent setting powder, the Peach Perfect. It's new, the Too Faced Peach Perfect translucent powder. It smells like peaches. It's so amazing. And I just get a light dust of that and put that underneath my eyes. Make sure also before you do this step that you use your sponge to press out any creases, because once you put this baby on, they're stuck there. Awesome. After I've done that, I use the same brush and I actually get out my MAC Studio Fix Pressed Powder. This one is the NC45, so it's just matched to my foundation. And I use that to set the rest of my face. And just to give a little more coverage, because you can sort of never have enough when you're on stage. Just be careful not to put it under your eyes, because it'll cover up an under eye highlight that we've done. It's not what we want, because we can't add any more now that we put powder on, because you can't put fluid over the top. The next thing I'm going to do is grab my new bronzer. It's the NARS. It is NARS. It's a colour Laguna. All I know is it's one of the bronzers that you get from NARS. It's their matte one. I don't think it's matte. Might have a slight shimmer, if anything, but I prefer bronzers that do not have a shimmer. I've been using this brush to put my bronzer on. It is a highlight brush actually, and this is from Kmart. I really like it. The excess. Just put that underneath my cheekbone. Perfect. Same thing again with this in the slight outside of my hairline, but not too much. And a little bit underneath my jawline, just to accentuate that jawline. Looking pretty good, if I do say so myself. Let me grab this and move it over here. Well, that's so much better light. I should have been doing like that. Why am I not being... Oh my god, that's so much better. I'm so sorry. I'm probably the worst YouTuber ever, and probably the worst makeup person ever. But anyway, that's a much better spot. I'm going to leave you there now. I've done my highlight there, my bronzer there rather. Then I'm going to get my current blush. At the moment I'm using the Milani Baked Blush. It is number 5 Luminoso, so it's baked powder blush. And I've been using this brush to put that on, which I'm pretty sure is also a Kmart brush, but I love it. So for me, I do a little pat and put on the apples of my cheeks, and then brush pull it outwards. I never used to wear blush, and like on a daily basis, but I just didn't quite like the look of it. But now I'm like in love since I found this one, because it's just the right color. I think it looks really pretty with my skin tone, but it's not too pinky. On stage it's nice to have a little bit to exaggerate things a little bit, just because like I said, the lighting washes it all out. So that's that one done. Now that I've done all of that, I'm just going to go ahead and touch up my eyebrows, put some silver eyeshadow underneath my eye, and then do the silver on the inside of my corner. After that, I'm going to line my lips. At the moment, what I'm using for on stage is, you know what, I actually think I've left my favorite lipstick at home. I'll have another one in my bag that I use. I'm using the Australis lip pencil colour Tickled Pink, and that's the one that I'm using to line my lips. And then I have a very similar lipstick shade from Australis that I've been wearing as my lipstick, but I don't think I have it with me. But I know that I do have some more lipsticks in my bag that I will use for today. But I hope that that helped out some of you guys that are looking at doing your own show day makeup. It takes me about an hour to do it. Probably took me a little bit longer today because I'm sitting here and chatting. What time is it? Oh no, it took me 45 minutes to get to this point, so that's good. I smashed through it, but I know my own face. I'm not a makeup artist. I'm probably doing so many things wrong, but I know that this works for me. These are my brushes and etc. So please don't call me out if I've done anything totally wrong, or let me know if you think it's something that I can improve on. But I hope it's helped a few of you girls who are not makeup artists also, but are looking at doing your own makeup. Honestly, it's made my show day mornings less stressful. Other people are like, no, I have to get it done so I'm not stressed, but for me, I know I can get up, I know how to do my own makeup, I know I'm not going to stuff it up, and I can show up to the venue with my face already done. All I have to have done is my hair. I used to wear it straight and then I just did my own hair, but now that I wear curls, I prefer to have someone else do it. They put my hair extensions in for me and they curl it and they make it look great. Fantastic. I probably need to learn how to do that as well, but I don't know, I travel with my makeup now to all of my shows, and I just think it's so much easier and less stressful for me personally. Alright, I'm gonna go ahead and finish off this face of mine and then continue getting ready for show day. Just realized I totally forgot to tell you guys that I wear false eyelash extensions, which is why I don't put false lashes on. Totally forgot that step. So yeah, I sometimes will put a little bit of mascara on them if they are dirty. Sorry CJ, I'm so sorry. But if they get foundation on them while I'm doing my makeup stage, I have to. But yeah, that's what I do. Just makes my makeup routine so much easier because I don't have to worry about putting lashes on. And one final step to finish off this makeup, MAC Fix Plus. All done.